everybody on sa show and more shut. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's concert, gala concert, the finale of the Lewisham Irish Festival. We have a great show lined up for you tonight. I would say that as the producer, but I was here all afternoon during the sound checks, and I can assure you we have the best of Irish classical music, country and western, traditional, some great local dancers, a comedian, a real good variety Irish night. And, before I go any further, there's something special I want to do. There's a lady in the audience, Mary O'Brien, and she's 111 today. Hang on. Sorry, she's ill. Okay. Okay. It's that kind of show, folks. It's that kind of show. Okay. Are you all ready, set, Michael?
That was a whisper.
All set to go? I'm delighted to announce our opening act. Here is Michael O'Hare. Michael O'Hare has played with some of the big bands throughout Ireland. Susan McCann he finished up with. He lives in North London, very involved with the Galtimore Club in London. John Chambers, I regard him as North London's answer to Dermot O'Brien. Without further ado, let's hear it from the lads.
Hello friends, you're welcome here tonight. I was just thinking about home, and I could use some company, alright. Sometimes it's hard to be alone. Well, you may say I have a memory that I might sink and never find. I guess that's just the way it's meant to be. Now I've got something on my mind. I'm living here in New York City now, and I get lonesome now and then. I'm praying one day life will carry me to Tipperary once again. The dream gets stronger with each passing day, for love of what I've left behind. These city lights won't dim the memory of Tipperary on my mind. Big Johnny boy. Manhattan's tall but not like Galtimore. Big city strangers pass you by. There is no place on earth like home, sweet home. And out of sight's not out of mind. I'm living here in New York City now, and I get lonesome now and then. I'm praying one day life will carry me to Tipperary once again. The dream gets stronger with each passing day, for love of what I've left behind. These city lights won't dim the memory of Tipperary on my mind. These city lights won't dim the memory of Tipperary on my mind. Thank you. Here's John with the Ferryman. You're on. Oh yeah.
The little boats are gone,
From the birds along the Liffey, the ferrymen are stranded on the quay, and the Dublin docks are dying. Sure way of life is gone, and it's over Molly, over, can't you see? Where the strawberry beds swing down to the Liffey, you kiss away the worries from my brow. Sure, I love you still today, and I'll love you more tomorrow. If you ever love me, Molly, love me now. Was the only job I had. It was hard but never lonely. The Liffey ferry made a man of me. I never stopped without a whisper. I've forgotten even now, and it's over, Molly, over, can't you see? Where the strawberry beds swing down to the Liffey, you kiss away the worries from my brow. Sure, I love you still today, and I'll love you more tomorrow. If you ever love me, Molly, love me now. Very great now. So now I'll tend me yard, and I'll spend the days in talking, and I'll hear them whisper, here, Mickey's on the go, you know. Ah, but Molly, we're still living, and darling, we're still young, and the river never owned me heart and soul. Where the strawberry beds sweep down to the Liffey, and you kiss away the worries from my brow. Sure, I love you still today, and I'll love you more tomorrow. If you ever love me, Molly, love me now. Where the strawberry beds sweep down to the Liffey, and you kiss away the worries from my brow. Sure, I love you still today, and I'll love you more tomorrow. If you ever love me, Molly, love me now. If you ever love me, Molly, love me now. That's John Chambers, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John. There's a pretty little girl in my hometown. Tried to kiss her, but she turned me down. Tried to hug her, but her answer was the same. She's got blue eyes and a beauty spot. Call her just to amuse her, touch me not. Her name is Mary Claire, well, by her Rebecca Jane. Well, that's her name. What's her name? That's her name. What's her name? Her name is Mary Claire, well, by her Rebecca Jane. She's the sweetest little girl I ever saw in my life. I hope one day that she'll be my wife. I'm gonna ask her to let me change her name. She's got blue eyes and a beauty spot. Call her just to amuse her, touch me not. Her name's Mary Claire, well, by her Rebecca Jane. Well, that's her name. What's her name? That's her name. What's her name? Her name's Mary Claire, well, by her Rebecca Jane. She's the sweetest little girl I ever saw in my life. I hope one day that she'll be my wife. I'm gonna ask her to let me change her name. She's got blue eyes and a beauty spot. Call her just to amuse her, touch me not. Her name is Mary Claire, well, by her Rebecca Jane. Oh, that's her name. What's her name? That's her name. What's her name? Her name is Mary Claire, well, by her Rebecca Jane. Oh, that's her name. What's her name? That's her name. What's her name? Her name is Mary Claire, well, by her Rebecca Jane. Her name is Mary Claire, modified to Rebecca Jane. She's a load of names. By a lonely prison hall, I heard a young girl call. Michael, they are taking you away, for you stole Providence's car, so the young might see the morn. Now the prison ship lies waiting in the bay, and oh, lie the thieves of Athenry, where once we watched the small and free birds fly. Our love was on the way, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling. Nothing matters, Mary, when you're free. Against the famine and the crown, I rebelled, they put me down. Now you must raise our child with dignity. And oh, lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched this small and free birds fly. Our love was on the way, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By a lonely harbor wall, she watched the last star fall. As that prison ship it sailed out against the sky, for she lives and hopes and prays for her love in Broadway Bay. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry, and low lie of Athenry, where once we watched the small and free birds fly. Our love was on the way, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry, and oh, lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small and free birds fly. Our love was on the way, we had dreams and songs to sing. Lord, it's only round the fields of Athenry. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. I think we're on the last number now, ladies and gentlemen. We'd just like to take the opportunity once again to thank you for being here tonight, and I hope you have a really wonderful evening. I'm sure you will. And just before we go, I'd like to thank Jen and all his team up there in the control room for their help and the setting up and all that. Thanks a lot, Nancy. We really appreciate that. Thank you. Here's a wee song to finish off with. This is a wee tune that's very appropriate for a lot of us, John, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's yeah. It's a wee tune called You're Going Out the Same Way You Came In. It just kind of reminds us all that no matter what we have nothing in the end. So it's a big hit for Tom recently, one called You're Going Out the Same Way You Came In. Are you going out the same way you came in? Doesn't matter who you know or where you've been. Skid Row Joe or superstar, doesn't matter who you are. All you're going out the same way you came in. Well, you came into this world without a care, and you leave it just as naked as you came. You may drive a coupe de ville or own that mansion on the hill. Don't mean nothing when St. Peter calls you in. Are you going out the same way you came in? Someone else will notify your next of kin. Some will weep and some will moan, some will spit upon your stone. Are you going out the same way you came in? Here we go. Then they'll figure out just who and what you owe. Then the lawyers line their nest, and your kinfolk get the rest, 'cause you can't take it with you when you go. Are you going out the same way you came in? Doesn't matter who you know or where you've been. Skid Row Joe or superstar, doesn't matter who you are. Are you going out the same way you came in? Are you going out the same way you came in? Doesn't matter who you know or where you've been. Skid Row Joe or superstar, doesn't matter who you are. Are you going out the same way you came in? Skid Row Joe or superstar, doesn't matter who you are. Are you going out the same way you came in? Are you going out the same way you came in? One time. Are you going out the same way you came in? Good night, God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you, Jerry.
Michael here and John Chambers. Michael, we're right down backstage. I know. I couldn't resist bringing that back out. Once more, Michael here and John Chambers. While we're getting ready for the next act, I want to share something with you. There's an Irish poet here in London called Kevin Raymond, and he sends me every so often poems he's written. And he's a London Irish poet. And this poem is quite apt because it's about St. Patrick's Day, which we've all just recently celebrated. And I hope you like it. It goes like this. It's the aroma of rashers that your nostrils caress. It's the break from your slumber on this day that's the best. It's the early morning mass in your Sunday suit pressed. It's the taste of fresh porter, your taste buds refreshed. It's the hurling, the rugby, the racing, the crack. It's the boxes of shamrock so neatly packed. It's the mammy, the daddy, so proud to be seen. It's the bacon and cabbage, the wearing of the green. It's the hoolies, the singing, the dancing so grand. It's the New York parade and the black velvet band. It's Tommy Makem and the Clancy brothers. It's the immigrant boys all missing their mothers. It's Kavanagh, Behan, McNeese and O'Connor. It's Christie, Shane and Sinead, the Madonna. It's the Irish Post and the Irish World. It's the Siege of Ennis as partners are twirled. It's Dicky Rock and the Hucklebuck. It's the Kilburn High Road and the Green Murphy's trucks. It's the Galtimore and the Garryowen. It's Camden Town Station and the penguins all glowing. It's the white, the gold, the green that's on your lapel. It's the tear-ups and the rear-ups, where those were, I won't tell. It's Sweet Afton, Old Holborn, and roll your own fags. It's the night on the tiles with the rest of the lads. It's Murphy's, Guinness, and Jameson's whiskey. It's your ma getting drunk and your dad getting frisky. It lasts the whole day. It's all the above. It's about making hay with those that you love. It's wondrous, inspiring, a sight to behold, like a concert with Neil Tobin and the stories to be told. It's a big up for Ken Livingstone for the awesome parade. It's part of our history, our culture. It's St. Patrick's Day. Thank you. And sticking with our culture, tonight we have a man who was born in Kilburn, in around, well, he make your own judgment, in around 1950 thereabouts. Went to Quex Road. He's very much a London Irish man, and he has great anecdotes, and as a first generation man born in London, he's got a great love and a great tune for Irish people, accents and Irish humour. And so without further ado, give a nice warm welcome to the London Irish comedian, Mr. Patrick O'Connell.
Thank you very much indeed. What a wonderful theatre this is, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful, and the staff are fantastic. I just want you to indulge me for a minute. My feet are here on Broadway, this blessed harvest morn, and oh, the ache that's in them for the spot where I was born. I just wanted to say I sang on Broadway. Fantastic, isn't it? Now, London Irish often gets very confused, and I was very bit confused about what does London Irish actually mean. And well, I live in Harrow in northwest London. I'm not used to the South Londoners, if you know what I mean. And in our road there was there still is, he was there this morning anyway, a man from Cahir Saiveen. And we were debating what London Irish actually meant. And he said to me, Patrick, he said, it's very simple. It's as simple as this. You're a shandy. I said, a shandy? Yes, he said, you're neither one thing or the other, but perfectly harmless. Well, you could get a bit grumpy about that. I mean, Jerry said I was born in the 50s. Well, I'm only 35. I've had a hard life. But I give you one tip, oil of Ulay. I drink it. And I was just debating with my charming wife, who's also a Kerry woman. I think she used to wrestle for Kerry in her youth, but in fact she still does wrestle for Kerry. And a beautiful woman too. I'm not going to knock her. She's beautiful, long hair all the way down her back, none on her head. And what attracted me about her was her ponytails. Little did I think, 25 years on, the ponytails would be out of her chin, but that's another story. But I was saying to her, you know, I think I'm going to get myself on Grumpy Old Men, that TV programme. I think I'm going to go for an audition. And she said, trust me dear, she said, you wouldn't have to audition. But there's certain things that get on my nerves nowadays, is this constant drinking of water. I don't know if you've noticed, everywhere you go, it's like soot calves. Everybody's strapped to water as if water's going to go out. And cups of coffee. Have you noticed people walking around with cups of coffee? And they're going crazy, get out of my way, I've got a cup of coffee. Grumpy old men. And as for IT, telephones, everything. It reminds me of a story of a fellow that was in a sauna, a Dublin fellow, in a sauna with a bloke from Japan. and a bloke from the States, and they're in the sauna, not a stitch of clothes on, which is perfectly acceptable in the sauna. They're all sitting there just looking at one another and not saying much. And all of a sudden, they heard beep, 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 beep. And the Japanese fella just took up his wrist, pressed his skin, and spoke. Put his hand down. And the other two looked at him. "Oh," he said, "don't worry," he said. "That was a message from my Tokyo office." "Oh, very good." So the Yank, not to be outdone, we heard a beep, 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 and he just switched his ear. "Yeah, sure, okay." Switched it off. He said, "That was a message from my office in Texas." But the Dublin fella's looking at me, and everything. So he walks out of the sauna, goes off out, the other two look at him. About 3 minutes later, he comes in with some toilet tissue just hanging down here, and he walks in. And the other two look at him in disgust. "Ah, that's nothing," he says. "I was just getting the facts from the Dublin office." Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Grumpy old man, just another story here of the Cork man. He sold up the farm, never married, a bachelor. Obviously sold up, property prices and land the way it is. Off he goes up to Dublin, suited and booted, going to have a whale of a time. He's going to make up for the life he never had. He booked himself into the poshest Dublin hotel. Went into the cocktail bar, a long, lovely cocktail bar, marble top. Calls the barman, "Young man," he says, "I'll have a large brandy, thank you very much." And he looked down the end of the bar, and at the end of the bar there was this beautiful woman. A vision he'd never seen in his life. So he orders the brandy, and he gets up and he says, "Barman," he says, "come here, and would you like to send down the large drink?" So a young, beautiful lady at the end of the counter. "Well," he says to her, "yes, send me down the drink." Well, the barman says to him, "Now look, sir, I'm not telling you how to spend your money." Well, he says, "Don't bother telling me how to spend the money." He says, "Just send the drink down." Okay, he said, "Well, that's what you want." So up, sends the drink down. The lady waved back at him, and he thought, "I'm well in here now, wait. Hold on. He called the barman back. He said, "Send there another large one down." The barman said, "Look," he says, "I'm not telling you what to do." He says, "Well, don't bother. Look," he says, "I've got to mark your card, sir." He says, "Don't bother. You're wasting your time and your money." He said, "That woman is a lesbian." "Oh, what?" "Look, young man," he says, "I'm up from the country. I know what Ireland is like in 2007. And I don't really care. Ireland has changed. Now, do as you're told and send her down the drink." Barman did, went down, and he made his way down. "Good evening, my dear," he says, "and how are things in Lesbia?" There was another hotel in County Cork, never really caught up with the Celtic tiger. They got left behind, and the proprietor was extremely worried. So what do you do in these cases? You get a consultant in. So he got a consultant in. And the consultant wasn't there for very long when he realised what was missing from this Cork man and his hotel was customer service. And he said, "You're going to lose out." He says, "You really have to sharpen up. And at the reception desk, really sharpen up on customer service. The customer's always right. Whatever they want, they get." So he said to the bloke at the reception who'd been there for 40 years, wasn't